So then we got some big transfer rumors to uncover today, and I had made a video on all this because I wanted to wait to see all the details to get all the information, and that's why I held back. But today we're going to be covering two very big transfer rumors. One is Julian Alvarez to Barcelona, and the second one, the Perez bomber that was dropped yesterday by Florentino Perez in a press conference where he said he's going to sign a player for 150 million, and we're going to talk all about that as well. So obviously, let's start with Julian Alvarez because I want to get that out of the way. I think we already seen a lot of reports about about everything going on with Julian Alvarez, about how Julian Alvarez does want to join Barcelona. He doesn't want to go to PSG, he doesn't want to go to Arsenal, nor does he want to stay in Atletico. He wants to join FC Barcelona. That's his dream, that's his club. He wants to go there, and he doesn't understand. There's been recent reports published by Mundo Deportivo and all those journalists saying that Julian Alvarez is not really happy with the likes of Atletico Madrid and how they're making it so difficult for Barcelona to bid and to kind of make a transfer. Where Barcelona sent 100 million bid, and Atletico obviously went on crazy rant on Twitter. They absolutely just went crazy. Literally, they gave their admin their keys to the club and were like, yeah, just do whatever you want, bro. Like, go ham. Which was, of course, very unprofessional, but from a small club like Atletico, you don't expect much. But it was insane, and Atletico is going to make it very difficult for Barcelona. And it is definitely going to be a very long transfer saga, because when we were sent that 100 million bid, I had a feeling that it was going to be a long transfer saga, because Julian Alvarez is their best player. He's their best player. He's their star player. He's kind of like their face right now. And for them to let him go, especially to a rival, especially to someone who competes with them in the same league and is a rival, it makes the situation difficult. Atletico and Barca generally have had good relationship, but there have been times, especially during transfers, where they tend to fight. Where Barcelona doesn't say much. Barcelona is a club that don't say much to Atletico. Atletico, the only one yapping, and that's what they always do. But I think this deal will get done at 120, because I think Julian Alvarez is going to come out and he's going to say, all right, I want to leave. Just let me go at 120. I think 120 is a very good price for Julian Alvarez. They bought him for 75 million, and the add-ons were never activated because he never achieved what the add-ons needed. And that's why 120 is a very good price. They make good profit. They can reinvest that profit into signing another striker and replacement for Julian Alvarez. And there's some out there. It's not like the market is completely, um, you know, completely dead. Barcelona were also, recent reports, were also offered the likes of Victor Osimhen to sign for Barcelona by their agent. But the problem with Victor Osimhen, firstly, they're asking for around 130 to 140 million, which is a lot of money. They're asking for quite a lot of money, Galatasaray, I mean. Secondly, his wages are high. Is very high. With add-ons and everything, his wages come up to almost 20 million. And for Barcelona, who are trying to balance their books, who are recently in the one-of-one rule, that just doesn't make sense. That just doesn't make sense. He's an unbelievable player, but the fees and the wages just don't make sense. And that's why Barcelona said, hey, put that on hold. We'll probably won't even think about that. We want Alvarez. And Barcelona are going to try their hardest to get Julian Alvarez. And I think he's a brilliant signing. Of course, he's one of the best free kick takers. He has more goals outside the box than he does inside the box in his career. And this guy's a legend. I mean, in the Champions League, only Harry Kane and Mbappe have scored more goals than Julian Alvarez since he joined Atletico Madrid 2 seasons ago. So this guy's a goal scoring machine. In the Champions League, he's a big moment player, right? He's not got the most goals in Atletico, but that would change, because in Barcelona we play a system that is articulated towards scoring goals, and someone like Julian Alvarez is of course going to score a lot of goals. He has the talent. His set piece ability is unbelievable. I think his free kick taking ability is very good, which obviously helps us even more, because I feel like especially if we don't sign Rashford, we do lack that, right? Rafinha, he takes our free kicks and he scored one the other day, but I think Julian Alvarez is so much he's just better. He's better, right? And of course we need big moments player. His pressing is unbelievable. Julian Alvarez is one of the best pressers especially in terms of strikers. He's one of the best pressers, something Hansi Flick would love. And he's so dynamic. He can play the wings, he can connect, he can come into midfield, he can drop as like a false nine. He's a brilliant player. He's so talented as well. And I think he's a player Barcelona definitely need to sign. But I also want Barcelona to keep their options open because we still need a defender. We still need a fullback maybe. And Bernardo Silva is also a deal that may go across the line and work out. So Barcelona definitely needs to keep their eye on all these deals and not miss out on market opportunities trying to get one signing, which is Julian Alvarez, right? Because this is what happens with us a lot of times where we get distracted by one signing and then we end up signing no one. And then we end up with this we end up with this very expensive player and not kind of having good depth in other positions, which we definitely need. We definitely need a centre back. That's very, very important this season. So that's for Julian Alvarez, and of course we're gonna get updates. We get updates almost every day, but I think this deal is probably gonna happen after the World Cup, because Julian Alvarez, he said he's gonna focus on the World Cup first. Everyone's gonna focus on the World Cup, and I think this deal will definitely happen. But I think it will go on till like August. I think it will be good. I think it'll be wrapped up by August. We'll know, at least we'll know if he's signing or he's not signing, right? So that's my take on Julian Alvarez. As for the bomber that was dropped by Florentino Perez yesterday, where he said on a press conference that I will sign a player and he'll be worth 150 million. First, everyone thought, is it Haaland? Ooh, maybe. Is it Olise or is it Vitinha Neves? And he said it's not Olise. He said it's not a player from the Premier League. He said it's not Haaland either. But the reports today say otherwise. The reports today say that Florentino Perez wants Michael Olise. And they need Michael Olise. Let's be honest, they need a playmaker in the attack. They need a right winger and they need a playmaker in the attack. And Olise is both of that. And he is an absolutely brilliant player. Do I think now is Olise worth 150 million? Yeah, maybe. I think he's just about worth 150 million. But will Bayern sell him for 150 million? No. No. Bayern's a stingy club, and they're not going to sell him for 150. They're gonna keep putting the price up. I mean, their president said in May that they're not even going to sell him for 200 million. So Bayern is definitely a club very hard to deal with because they're a big club and he is their star. He's one of their face. He's won the Bundesliga Player of the Tournament award this season. So he is one of their best players. And for them to sell someone who's a Ballon d'Or contender, one of their best players, is going to be difficult. Real Madrid's really, really going to have to pull something out of the water to get a signing from Michael Olise. Now, if this set player is Vitinha or Neves, same thing. Both of them want to get the 3P. Both of them want to stay at PSG. Both of them understand this PSG project has just got them 2 Champions Leagues in a row. And why would they leave? I mean, Real Madrid is a very big club, right? Real Madrid, Barcelona. Yeah, when these guys call, you generally people go because that's where they dream of playing, right? Like Julian Alvarez dreams of playing for Barcelona. Lewandowski, when he was at Bayern, dreamed for playing for Barcelona. Then he forced a move out. But for Vitinha and Neves, I don't see that happening just because they want to get this repeat. They've said it after the second Champions League that they won that we want to go for 3. We want to go for that 3P because we know we can do it. We have the players. We're going to reinforce and we're going to go again. And they want to do it. And they have a project. They have the manager. They have all the players they need. They have all the money they need. So PSG has no reason to sell them to Real Madrid. And I don't think that's going to happen. So Vitinha and Neves, I think, for me, are out of question. Like, realistically, out of question. And Olise as well, I feel like for 150, I don't think that's happening. And even for 200, I find it hard. Unless Olise himself goes out the way and says, no, I want to join Real Madrid, I want to say it. I want to force a move out. I want to join Real Madrid and Real Madrid should take me. And then there's speculation. Maybe that happens. Maybe if he says that, then there's a possibility that happens. Could it also be Julian Alvarez? But again, Real Madrid don't need Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez is not a... Julian Alvarez, Real Madrid could go and sign him, but they don't need him. Like they don't need a striker or a centre forward. They need a right winger. They have too many forwards anyway. So it's going to be an interesting... interesting transfer market for Real Madrid and Barcelona. Both the El Clasico big boys going at it, the Spanish giants, right? And it brings me back memories, man. It brings back memories when Barcelona could spend money. And Real Madrid, obviously, they can always spend money. So it's definitely going to be a heck of a transfer market. And for me, I think the Julian Alvarez deal will get done. And as for Real Madrid, I think they might get Kvaratskhelia. And I know I said this about the PSG players, but Kvaratskhelia is the one player where he dreams of playing for Real Madrid. He's a huge Ronaldo fan. He's a huge Real Madrid fan, although he was captured wearing a Barcelona shirt recently. But he's a huge Real Madrid fan. He said it throughout his life that he loves Real Madrid and he wants to go there. And he would actually make sense because he would balance that forward line because he's a presser like Rafinha. He tracks backs to defend as well, so that will help Vinny and Mbappe. And he's a runner, and in the Champions League, he's an absolute killer. And that's what Real Madrid need, an absolute killer. They don't care about the league. All they care about is the Champions League. In the big Champions League games, who turns up? It's Kvaratskhelia, and he's done it last season, he's done it this season. So that could be one signing, especially for 150 million. I think Kvaratskhelia is worth, he's not worth 150, he's worth around 120, but with 150, I think PSG would accept it. PSG would definitely accept that. So it's definitely interesting to see what happens, and I would love to see what happens, and I hope Barcelona, if the lineups end up how they're looking with the transfer rumors going on next season, the El Clasicos are going to be insane. The El Clasicos are going to be absolutely insane. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys later.